The
Yeah,
main thing that shocked me was the amount of traffic because when we were going to my cousin's house, because we were going to stay there, it was about like a 3 to 4 hour drive from the airport during rush hour. But the next day when
really.
we drove the same route, it was only like half an hour.
Welcome to Vancouver Student Network Podcast.
Today I'm here with my friend Graciela. Graciela, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Are you currently in Vancouver?
Yes, yeah, I'm currently in
Yeah.
Vancouver.
How's the weather? I think it's kind of
Oh,
cold right now, right?
it's a little cold, but I'm looking out my window right now and it's really sunny and it looks overall pretty nice. Yeah.
Sunny days are always wonderful in Vancouver. You got to take advantage of them. Graciela, can you tell me a little bit about your background? Where are you from? What are you doing here in Vancouver?
So I was born and raised in Edmonton, Alberta. I basically lived there my entire life. I only came to Vancouver. I came to Vancouver to go to school at UBC. Um, to be honest, before coming to Vancouver to study, I didn't really step foot in Vancouver. I didn't really know what to expect except for photos. But I'm glad I came here. It's really nice. Like the weather's always nice in comparison to Alberta, where it's like all snow.
Yeah, I think it's like a pretty shocking like move, like from I don't know, Alberta is like -30 on a daily basis, and here's like kind of warm, and also summer's pretty good, right? Have you
Yeah.
experienced summer here already or no?
Um, Sadly, I haven't experienced it much because I've gone home every single time, but hopefully sometime soon.
Yeah, you should. Honestly, there's a lot of activities that you can do like in the nature here,
Yeah.
and like the weather allows you. So that's pretty nice. So Graciela, you told me that right now you're studying at UBC. Can you tell us a little about that? Where are you studying and what's the vibe?
So I studied when I originally came to UBC, I was in arts. I wanted to do international relations, but I ended up pivoting a bit to a program called Global Resource Systems. It's like a very small program in the Faculty of Land and Food Systems here, but I like this program because you get to choose what you study and you get a good intersection of like arts and sciences. So I got to take classes like bio and chem, but I also got to take classes like poli-sci and history, which is very
Okay.
interesting. I really
Okay.
recommend it, but
So you're into like nature, like environment and all that stuff, right?
yeah, a little bit. My specialization within my program is something called like international development.
Okay.
Yeah. So I study a lot on like sustainability, but also um like kind of about like economic development and those types of things.
And are you currently working meanwhile you're studying? Are you doing like a part-time job or like something?
Currently no, but I used to work as a referee for UBC basketball intramurals, which was
Oh,
fun.
really?
Yeah.
As a referee? Do
It
you
was
play basketball yourself?
I played in high school, but haven't really had much time to play it in university, sadly.
Okay, that's nice. Pretty cool. I actually back in Mexico, I used to also do referee, but
Oh.
soccer. But
Oh,
like indoor soccer.
yeah.
Indoor soccer, that was really nice. It's a lot of pressure, right? Because like, you got like both teams, they're heat up for the game and they're like they want to take it out on you. So it's like it's a fun job because also like the time flies
Yeah,
and it's
time
really
really
good.
does fly.
Time time
But
flies, yeah.
yeah, it really is a
And
lot of pressure.
yeah, now that you think about it, it is. And Graciela, tell me a little bit about the job offers, like related to your career. Like, do you see yourself working on what you're studying right now, or like, would you like to switch or like change to like another area so you can find more opportunities, or what do you think about it?
I think with what I'm studying, it gives me a lot of room to kind of switch up what I'm doing because my program is so interdisciplinary. Right now, I'm like interested in possibly working in like for a development bank on like projects, possibly in Southeast Asia, because that's like the region that I'm like most interested in. But within like Canada, it's definitely harder to find jobs unless it's with the government and things like that. But so far, I'm kind of just riding it out to see how things are going. But been on my mind as to like what I'm gonna do after I graduate.
Okay. Are you like in the middle of your program, or you just started your program? Or how many years
Well,
do you have left?
yeah, I'm in my third year of my
Okay.
undergraduate degree, so I have one more year, but I'm still thinking of possibly doing grad school so I can hopefully have more employability.
Okay. Okay. That sounds great. And Graciela, you were telling me about your background. You're Filipino, right?
Yes, yeah.
Filipino. Your parents are Filipinos?
Yes, my parents are both Filipino. They were born there but they actually met in Edmonton.
That's amazing. And how? I mean, you because you were born in Edmonton, but I think have you ever been to Filipina or no?
I've only been there twice. I was actually supposed to go a third time in 2020, but COVID happened, so I
Yeah,
go. Yeah.
it got in the way. What cultural shocks can you tell us about, like the difference between like Canadian culture and like Filipino culture?
Oh, that's a good one. Um, I think this isn't necessarily a culture shock, but something that like shocked me when I first went to the Philippines is the insane because we went to Manila and it's like the main city. It's like a
Yeah,
very big city. The
yeah.
main thing that shocked me was the amount of traffic there was.
Okay.
Um, because when we were going to my cousin's house, because we were going to stay there, it was about like a 3 to 4 hour drive from the airport during rush hour. But the next day when
Really?
we drove the same route, it was only like half an hour.
That's shocking.
Yeah.
Um, do you speak the language?
I understand fluently, but sadly I'm not like fluent in speaking. I think it's mainly because my parents never enforced us to respond to them in Tagalog.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. I think Filipino is pretty similar to Spanish. You know, we have like we share some words. I think the numbers, right? Like uno, dos, tres, cuatro.
Yeah, I
Do
think
you
our
do you
numbers are just
understand
a
those?
little different, but because, like, the usual number system we go by is, like, isa, dalawa. So it's like, is isa, dalawa, tatlo. So it's a little different, but I know,
Okay.
where it's like escuela is,
Oh,
like,
escuela. Yeah, yeah.
there.
School. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The same Spanish. And what can you tell us about the food, Graciela?
Oh,
Do you
the
like Filipino food?
I love Filipino food. Whenever I'm, like, in the Philippines, I'm just so happy to eat because, 1, everything's cheaper. And, like,
Yeah.
2, it just tastes really good. Like, I really like chicken adobo. Like, my mom makes it really well at home, but, like, I can't
Okay.
really find it cooked well in, like, restaurant most of the time. But when I go home to the Philippines and I eat it, like, in a restaurant, it tastes really good.
Yeah. What would you say is like their main dish? Like Filipinos' main dish? If you only have to choose one, what would you say?
I'm not gonna lie, I think it would be chicken adobo because it's, like, very, very popular and it's very
Chicken
easy.
adobo? Chicken
Yeah,
adobo, that's
adobo.
what you call.
Yeah,
Okay.
adobo is, like, just the way they cook it. Yeah, it's just a different method of cooking, but
How is it served with like rice or like
oh,
what is it served with?
yeah, it's usually served with just rice and you usually
Just
see it
rice?
as is, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. And do you have like any favorite? I mean, you just told me that nothing's compared like a homemade chicken adobo, but like, do you have any like Filipino restaurants that you like here in Vancouver that you like? Okay, this kind
Um,
of pass the vibe.
I think I haven't gotten to try that many. I know there's, like, a decent amount, but I've been to this one place called Pampanga's Cuisine, and the food was really good.
And Graciela, now that you come from Edmonton and you make all this change by yourself, how's it been to like make new friends, like in university? Sorry, has it been easy? Has it been like do you struggle a little bit at the beginning, or how
Mhm.
was it for you?
I think with the way they set things up at UBC, in general, it's if you live in residence in first year, it's, like, decently easy to make friends. They usually have this program before school starts called Jumpstart, which is all where a lot of first years make their friends, and it definitely helps because it's, like, a week on campus with no school, like, no schoolwork, and you're just doing activities, meeting new people. So, I think
Oh,
if
that's great.
you, like yeah, if you take, like, advantage of, like, something like Jumpstart, or if you um if you find people, because in first year we actually have dining halls in residence, so it's really easy to make friends there. But
Okay.
yeah, that was my experience. But I do think I'm pretty extroverted, so I might have
Okay.
just been lucky. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that definitely helps. But I mean, also the UBC makes these like activities that also makes it like easier for people that are a little bit more like shy or quiet or like that's amazing. That's amazing. And what do you think about the Filipino community here in Vancouver? You think it's big? Have you met someone in university that's also Filipino and you've been friends
Mhm.
with them
Yeah.
or
I
what?
think one of the things that I noticed, in, like, UBC, because I'm normally just on campus because I still live on campus, um, there there is, like, a Filipino club, but many of the Filipinos are, like, actually from the Philippines, so there's, like, I meet less people who were, like, born and raised somewhere other than the Philippines here. Like, it's more sparse, but I've definitely made a couple friends. It's just I think a lot of the Filipino community is in, like, the areas like New West, because I remember I went there once and there were so many Filipinos. But yeah, sadly on campus, I haven't met as many as I would hope, but everyone that like, all the Filipinos that I met are, like, amazing, and it's, like, nice connecting with people who have similar
That's
experiences.
good. Now that I mention it, like your culture, do you have any like cultural or like any tradition that you guys make here in Vancouver that is also like really famous in or like
Oh.
is really common in the Philippines?
Filipinos take Christmas very seriously, so I think the
Okay.
Christmas celebrations are really good, but our,
Okay.
Filipino Independence Day just happens to fall in the summer, so we never, when I'm here in Vancouver, I've never experienced any, Filipino events to do with that, but I do know there was, like, a Filipino block party sometime last year where they had, like, Filipino artists come and perform, and there were, like, stalls with Filipino-run businesses. Yeah, but
Really?
like, only got to check it out for a bit, but it was really fun.
Do you follow like Filipino music or not really?
Um, a bit, but
Yeah.
not as much as I would hope, yeah.
I bet your parents do, right? Like they
Yeah,
usually they must like listen to Filipino music
yeah,
on daily
yeah, they
basis.
definitely do, but I never catch the names because they just play it, and I'm like, "Ah, this sounds good."
You're just vibing. You're just vibing with it. When you graduate, what do you expect about Vancouver? Or what are your thoughts? Are you planning to stay? Are you planning to move back? Or are you planning to move somewhere else? Or like what are your plans? If you thought so, clearly.
Yeah. I'm, like, planning on possibly going to graduate school. I most likely won't stay in Vancouver just because as a student, it is pretty expensive,
Mhm.
like, just cost of living and tuition as well. But if I were
Yeah.
to find, like, a good job somehow after graduation, I would like,
Yeah.
in Vancouver, I would probably choose to stay for a bit just because I do really like the city. It's really nice. I just need to have something to, like, support, like, my living here.
Okay. Hopefully you will. Hopefully you will. And you gotta knock on doors. Honestly, you just gotta knock on
Mhm.
doors and give the best attitude always.
Yeah.
And Graciela, you told me you've been 3 years in university. I bet you have like one experience, like something funny that like something memorable that you remember in all these 3 years. Do you
Yeah.
think about one now?
I'll try to narrow it down because I feel like there have been so many random experiences that have been really fun, especially living on campus. Like, if you're just walking around at night, there's just things just happen. I think something that I find is really interesting and just, like, a little weird, but, like, very interesting is, like, around Christmas time, the engineers, like, walk around campus and start caroling. And, like, I live on the 12th floor of my building, and I can hear them from my building, even if they're
Really?
downstairs. They walk around campus, and they walk through the library sometimes, which is crazy, but they're just caroling at, like, early in the morning too. Like, I think they carol from, like, 8 AM to, like, 10 AM.
Damn, that's so like random.
Yeah, it's so random and so weird,
Yeah,
but it's like a
yeah,
tradition here apparently.
yeah. Apparently, that's so
Yeah.
funny, Graciela. Are you currently with a student club or like a part of an association at the moment?
Yes, I'm actually currently the president of a club at UBC called AMS Dance Horizon. Yeah.
Okay. And what is it about? Can you tell us a little bit?
Mhm. We're basically a student-run dance club. We consider ourselves a nonprofit because we do hire teachers from outside of UBC, like professional teachers, so then students
Okay.
can learn from them at a lower cost. Because most if you go to a dance studio outside of UBC, most classes cost like upwards of 20, like 20 to $25, which is so much for just an
Hmm.
hour. So at
Yeah.
you like through my club, we have memberships. So with a membership, every class that you take would be only $5, which is like a lot cheaper than if you were to go somewhere else.
That's amazing. And the
Yeah.
classes are in the campus?
Yes, the classes are all in the campus. And then alongside with our classes, we actually also have teams.
Okay.
So, we have one competitive team, which is
Oh,
both.
really?
Yeah, yeah. It's both like
That's
hip hop and contempt. So if you're interested in those 2 dance styles, it's perfect. But for anyone like who hasn't had much experience with dance, we also have like 2 open level teams, one for contemporary, one for hip hop that's open for anyone of any level.
you told me you like the studying club is like what type of dance do
Oh,
they teach? That's my
yes.
question, sorry.
Yeah.
I
So
didn't know how to ask it.
we focus on hip hop and contemporary, but some of the teachers, it just depends who we're able to hire for the year. But we usually have healed classes, Afro, jazz sometimes. Sometimes we had this thing called Sexy Street.
Oh,
We
really?
tried to have a variety of dance styles for people to try out.
Oh, that's wonderful. And is there any like range of like age?
We don't really have requirements for people to take our classes. We just usually have students at UBC just because it's on campus, so it's a lot easier for them. But we've definitely had people outside of the city come in and take our classes as well, just because it's cheaper. So
Yeah.
it's a lot
Yeah.
easier. Yeah, more accessible.
That's wonderful. So you just gotta like sign up and you're ready to go?
We have a membership system. So our memberships are $30 for the full year for not for UBC students and 45 for non-UBC students. And that's for the full year. And then with the membership, classes are $5 each. Without the membership, it's $10, so still a lot cheaper. And then we also if you're part of a team, classes are even cheaper. It's only $3 per class.
That's amazing and good to know. Good to know, Graciela. And do you guys do like performances like outside of the campus? Like do you go outside to like I don't know, a particular like theater or like I don't know, to a venue and you perform for like I don't know, the parents or maybe just people that want to go see like the dance and stuff? Do you guys do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. So sometimes we have like events that request us to have performances, but we actually host our own. We host 2 shows per year. One of them is mid-year show, which happens in December, and the one that's coming up is in early April, which is our year-end show. So what we have is we have all of our classes throughout the year. They create a piece to perform, and then we also invite other UBC dance teams, some studios from outside of UBC to create pieces. And we also leave it open for guest performers. So any students or anyone who wants to create their own pieces specifically for the show, we really encourage them to create pieces and send in an audition. And then we basically choose pieces to go into our final show. So this year, it's most likely going to take place around like April 5th or 6th. And we're still finalizing things, but all the information would be found in our Instagram.
For sure. Thank you, Graciela. And Graciela, I was gonna ask you, are you familiar with like bands to events? the
I'm actually part
organization?
of the email list, but so I've been seeing the events, but I would love to learn more.
Or have you been familiar or have you ever like assisted to one of our events?
I actually haven't had the opportunity to yet.
Well, we actually host the biggest and like the best events in Vancouver where we like get together people from all parts of the world because it's mostly like international students. So they can like get to know each other and they get to like make new friends. Like you just said from UBC, like these all these activities. So we host in venues like I don't know if you ever heard of library or mansion, celebrities, Aura and many more. And it would be great if maybe in the future, in the nearly future, we can work together.
Good.
What do you think about that? Maybe we can make like an event for like I don't know all the Dance Horizons community featuring bands too. That would be interesting, right?
Yeah,
Like
that would
hosting
be
like a
amazing.
dance night.
Yeah, I think that would be so much fun.
I don't know what to say. Honestly, it's been a great time. Thank you very much for your story. I don't know if you want to add up something else for the people that are listening to us right now.
No, I think all I can say is, if you're interested in possibly checking out UBC Dance Horizons, you can follow our Instagram, which is just UBC Dance Horizon. But other than that, thank you so much for having me.